Welcome to Papa John's World. This is the rear drive shaft of a 97 Chevy K-Series 2500 Chevy Cheyenne, 3/4 ton, 4-wheel drive. That's a mouthful. Anyway, if you pull the drive line out, this is the part that goes in the transfer case right here. That's the goes in the transfer case, the stub drive line, a carrier bearing, and this carrier bearing the rubber was getting kind of loose, and I have a noise going down the road, so we're going to change it. If you can't get your drive line out by yourself this far, you probably don't have a lot of business doing this, because it takes a few special tools to get it apart. So first thing, take a utility knife without cutting your finger and cut the rubber. Take the rubber off of it. Now we're going to get a gear puller on this bearing and we're going to pull it off. Well, let's see what we can do with this. You got to protect that point and the little bearing inside your puller. I'm going to back it up a hair. I'm going to make it all line up good. It's just a little drywall impact. Not going to get too nasty with that. And okay, there we go. Gear puller. Sometimes part stores will rent them to you if you want to try to do this yourself. And with this old truck, they couldn't exactly tell me which one I needed. I might have to save and reuse that part. But you can see that bearing wasn't far from being gone anyway, and it's almost a 30-year-old truck. I'm gonna do a light emery on this, mainly removing the dirt, and that doesn't even carry the bearing. I'm just cleaning that up. Over the port. The new carrier bearing appears to go either way. I might have to make a little tool that doesn't bend that lip but touches the rest of it. See what I have. I found a piece of drill stem that fits over that real nice, and I think it's long enough. So first thing we'll do, you don't want to polish that so loose that it could spin inside the bearing race. Tap that on. There. Talks about slingers. That's a slinger. Cool. Put it on. We're going to call that good on there. That's the carrier bearing. Okay, we'll get ready to put it back together. I have a slide hammer, but I can't get it in between there. So there's a little lip on that. I'm going to take a pretty sharp chisel and see if we can't move that little hammer. Oh, that was easy enough. Okay. Now that seal was called a hooded seal, but I don't think on this truck that hood was getting in the way. We're going to clean this out a little bit. I'm going to clean that out. I want to dry that oil out. I want to put a little bit of that oil-proof silicone in here before I put that back. I took a little gear oil crankcase seal and put on the seal. I know it's got a coating, but that's a little extra protection. And I did it about 5 minutes ago, and it's actually about 100 degrees outside. It's not so hot in the shop. We have an evaporative cooler running, thank goodness. Let's see if I can get that to go. You see that squirt out all around. I'll wipe that off. Put the last seal on there. It leaked a little. It could have a little bit of a worn housing or something to that effect, so we want to make sure and take care of that. A little grease on it. Try not to get it too dirty. And rotate as it goes in. You can see where, with the hooded seal, where I had to move this back to keep from crushing the hood. But this is the original placement, and it's got just enough. There's probably 3/4 of an inch, and I could maybe actually slide that forward a little more. And the reason that's concerning is when I put a 500-gallon water tank in this truck, it really compresses these springs down. And I think as that comes up, it shoves this driveline forward. And that may be why my seal went to leaking in the first place. So that slip yoke cap has a seal in it, but it just slides off. It's got a little edge right here that it catches on. You have to get a channel locks and get pretty aggressive with it to get it off. Clean that up a little bit. You can see it's almost like a king nipple or a hose clamp fitting. Okay. Right there. Okay. Okay. That one on there. Yeah. I always put tape around the U-joints just to hold the other caps on while I'm working on it. And I put a little bit of white paint here and also on the cap on this side, so I know where it goes. Okay. I'm going here like that. If this was a newer truck that run down the road at 75 or 80 miles an hour, I'd probably clean all this up. But this old truck hauls my water and never 45, 50. That's about as fast as I drive it. This is a 11mm. Okay, and never tighten them until you get them all snugged. Roll it around here on this other one. Oh, that was hard, huh? There. Okay. Well, the throwout bearing held up well. This old truck's hauled about 6,000 gallons of water since we put that throwout bearing in. And that noise that I had going down the road, I don't have that anymore, so I'm pretty sure that was the throwout bearing. Easy enough to change if you have a few tools. One other thing I did to this truck is I put in a set of those rubber blocks on the springs. So it's got about 3/4 of an inch of travel before it touches those rubber blocks. But when I put 500 gallons of water in the bed, that holds her pretty level. Made a better load carrying truck out of this. Anyway, hey, thanks for watching Papa John's World. I appreciate my viewers.